The gentleman said we should follow the story, but this resolution is an incomplete story. It doesn't go where the story goes. Let's talk about some of the story that this resolution leaves out. Mississippi.
So if you want to use the words bipartisan and say this is an attack, then bring the things that you would want us also to look at.
He is sincere in his commitment to address this issue, but this resolution turns what should be a bipartisan effort into a partisan political attack that points the finger only at Democratic-led states and governors while pretending the problem does not exist in Republican-led states. Republican Governor Tate Reeves, in the largest public fraud case in that state's history, more than $77 million was stolen from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF program, money meant for some of the poorest families in America. It was diverted to professional athletes, horse farms, and a volleyball complex. An audit found tens of millions in misspent federal funds, and some of that money ended up in the pocket of Trump endorser and outspoken MAGA Republican Brett Favre, who took taxpayer dollars for speaking engagements and never showed up.
I do want to respond to the gentleman and tell him today's that open invitation. He and I know that this is a lot of work that is factually based, not just showing up and making, and I don't doubt anything he said, but showing up with the evidence: who, how, where, why did this happen, what is being done. And I would just say that the gentleman knows that our Government Operations Subcommittee is ready and open and available, that he would have to admit here on the floor on a bipartisan basis. So if you want to use the words bipartisan and say this is an attack, then bring the things that you would want us also to look at. But please don't make this political, because we've done our homework, because we have aimed at where the problem is, because we have done these hearings. We have had people directly in front of us with their hands raised. We did the work. We did the facts of the case. And I think that you'll have your own time. You've got 23 minutes. The gentleman needs to understand that he too sits at one of these tables where they can have witnesses called. They can have their staff do these things. They can go and investigate. And they know, perhaps most of all, that I will be very open to listening to them. Because if there's one thing I have done over the last few years, and when I was chairman of the Rules Committee, is to listen to other people, to try and at least offer to the body an opportunity to see the facts of the case. And I think it's an easy thing to come down here. And I respect the gentleman. I make sure that he's involved in all of our hearings. But to come down here without the evidence, hard work, and make claims, I think is a very difficult thing when we are expected as members of Congress and our staffs to do these right things. Mr. Speaker, we want to continue the story.